Hey, what's good, everybody? Hopefully, you all could hear me because I just saw that. Let me make sure. I think my mic was off, but now it's on. Okay, good. So, for those of you that know me, right, I was gone. I was gone on a retreat, right, to Tulum, right? I was one of the teachers there, so I haven't done a reading in, I don't know, has it been like 2 weeks or something? But I wanted to do an all signs. Let's see if, right, I could get through all the signs. This is gonna be for April. Yeah, right before I started, my crown lit up, so I was like, okay, um, yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So I think it's Aries, right? Aries birthday month already. So I'll start with Aries, and then we'll go from there. I think it's gonna be in order, right? Since Aries is the first of the zodiac signs, right? So I feel a little rusty for some reason. Not intuitively, just like with the card. So let's see we get through this. So what does Aries need to know? Right? Happy birthday, Aries. What does Aries need to know for April, right? Coming in for April. And yeah, I've made videos already like talking about the retreat. So check those out. Just amazing, amazing transformative experience. Aries. Wow. What in the world? This is crazy energy, right? Whoa. Ten of Swords. My stomach even did a weird thing. Hmm. Wow. Hey, Brittany, good morning. Wow. Ten of Swords, Seven of Swords, the Moon. It feels like you're lying to yourself about something. There's some kind of illusion. Um, that you're basically, yeah, like either you're ten of swording yourself with a situation you went through. You made yourself believe something that wasn't true, right? Maybe you feel you were wronged in some way, and it's an illusion, right? But you cast it on yourself, right? You know, mm, yeah, wow, my whole head is like lighting up. Yeah, so we can do that, right? Sometimes someone can make themselves believe something that, but in this case, it's very destructive to yourself, right? Um, yeah, so, le- yeah, let me see whoa, very strange energy. Let me see, make sure all the cards are, I haven't used them in a while, so I mean, those came up upright, but yeah, I'm noticing that some of the cards are all flipped. Let me fix that real quick. But yeah, that's interesting energy. I wasn't expecting that. I feel like I've been in this whole other reality to where it's interesting to see to where it's almost like this energy didn't really even exist in that space. So it's crazy to see. Let me see. Okay, almost there. I was like, I'll edit this out, but I forgot this is live. So okay, I don't. Let me get to it. See, when you said that, my stomach glowed all loud at the same time. Which part, Brittany? About the. Let me see. So here we go. Oh wow! See, Ten of Cups, Ten of Swords. 10-10 is a completion, right? Like I would say maybe even watching this, it might help you, right? Like click it. like click that thought that, there's some kind of illusion that you're casting on yourself, right? That's crazy though. That's crazy energy that you could convince yourself of something, right? That isn't real, right? It's an illusion, right? And that's keeping you stuck, right? Feeling overburdened, carrying things you don't have to carry, right? Imagine going your whole life thinking like convincing yourself that something happened, like you were wronged and this and that, and so you're bitter your whole life, and then at the end, I remember this. I met someone like that. But I won't go into the story, but I remember meeting this 70-year-old woman, right, when I was going to classes for a DUI I had got, right, and it clicked, and she's like, "Man, I wasted so many years of my life." Angry or this and that, and when she finally let that down, she was like, "I can't believe it." Right? I think it was something with her son. She had wasted all this time she can't get back, right? But now that that she finally, everything was like this amazing relationship and this and that. And so sometimes we can do that. So hopefully, if that clicks, my gut's lighting up as I'm giving that message. Whoa, there's a nostalgia there. It's almost like remembering something, a beautiful past that, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's tied into there's a beautiful past that memories, right? Something, memories. Oof. I had felt a pain here. So something obviously, right? So maybe you are, it doesn't matter, right? Gender doesn't matter, but obviously it's the masculine side. So I don't know, what that is. If you're, for you, if you're a woman that connected to a masculine side, or hey, take it how it resonates, whatever. But whoa, that one just blew out. Yeah, maybe someone that you see as a king of pentacles. My crown's lit up as I said that, so maybe that's it. I don't know. It almost feels like you're being drawn to take action towards something. So just take it how it resonates, right? Like starting, maybe, yeah, maybe it has to do with this nostalgia energy, right? Thinking about happier times and making movement towards that. So I think in April, maybe you might be doing that. Whoa, the Wheel of Fortune, 10, 10, 10. Wow. Um, I mean, I had a mixed feeling in my gut. So I think it is up to you. It's your choice. What side of that Wheel of Fortune do you want to be on? You want to be the little character getting trampled on, or you want to be like that Sphinx on top, right? Because 10, 10, 10 is 1, 1, 1 also, right? So new beginnings, right? Making movement towards a new beginning. And it's a quizás, right? Maybe card. So, you know, quizás, either you stand in your truth, right? Yeah, because right now I just feel like a stuckness, right? So it's like the world's in your hands, right? What do you want to do? What do you want to do, right? Maybe that's kind of a wow, that's a weird feeling right here. I know I don't get that all the time, but um, let me see. Okay, I know I'm taking a lot. That's your birthday month anyway, so I'm like, okay, I'm taking a long time with Aries, but let me see. So it's okay from there, and I'll go a little faster with all the signs, but okay, unreleased emotion. So there's something there, and I think that's what it is. Maybe you need to process that, right? Maybe process that. Ask yourself, like, I think it's really about just releasing, like maybe going through like a purging ceremony, that like literally starting all over in your mind. However you want to, if you can't, according to what they're saying, yeah, you made an illusion about something, right? That you feel wronged about, or you're wrong, or you're sticking those 10 swords in your own back or something. I don't know what, take it how it resonates. But yeah, there's something if you want that right for the wheel of fortune, it's like literally there. It's up to you. How do you want that wheel of fortune to turn in your favor or to trample you, right? So, and then you'll start a whole new cycle. So that's kind of what I'm getting, right? It's weird. I feel like just it's not a bad feeling. It's just like it's not even an anxious feeling. It's just like someone just stop. And I think maybe a processing thing or something, right? I do feel a slight hesitation. So I don't know. It's almost like which way. It's like if the wheel was turning and then it just stopped. So I feel like you're boom suspended in time until you make a choice, right? But I wouldn't like. It's almost like the wheel stop and then which way is the wind gonna blow? Is it gonna blow you backwards and oh sorry you, or is it gonna? But it's literally the universe. It's in your hands. So okay, there. Let me because yeah, that took way 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 too long. Um, let it be, let it go, then let it go. Absolutely, that makes perfect sense. Let me see. Okay, perspective shift. Did I say perspective shift? That's so funny. Perspective shift. Yeah. Okay. So let me go ahead and throw these back in. So who's next after Aries? Taurus, right? Let's get into Taurus. Okay. I'll try not to take long with these because I was probably like a whole personal reading. It felt like, right? I don't think everyone's probably going through that energy, but um, yeah. Okay. That was just weird. Not weird, but it's not something I come across a lot, right? Like, yeah, it is weird. It was a weird energy, so I can't even. I don't know. Okay, let me blow some of that copal this way. Okay, so Taurus. Let's see what's going on for Taurus. Uh-oh, maybe you're a cusp or maybe something, but the good thing is the light bulb moment, right? So let's see what else for Taurus. Damn, that's interesting. So maybe this is a theme then. Wait, why did a card flew out? Wow, Queen of Cups. Both are third eye though, so you're getting something, right? You're seeing something. I don't know if you're that Queen of Cups or you're connected to a Queen of Cups, maybe a Cancer. Oh, Hanged Man, because okay, that makes sense. I think you're regretting not communicating something, right? Maybe you were connected to I feel like it's supposed to be this way actually. Something left unsaid. Maybe you were connected to out of water energy, right? Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Maybe you were connected to yeah, any water sign, Taurus, and you left something unsaid, and I mean you got new things already, but you're just stuck, right? You're stuck thinking about the past with that Hangman and the Five of Cups. But I think that's what the Hangman. That's the realization that there is the power of free will. All you have to do is speak up. Look at that. See, that's why things left unsaid. That's why that's a huge burden to carry for me. Like to not have said something. I think that's why I don't mind expressing things and crashing and burning. Hey, good morning, Adrian. Um, I don't mind expressing something rather than holding it in, right? I would prefer to, right? Like if some see it as crashing and burning with the situation rather than holding on to it. But you have the power of free will. I think that's the realization right now for Taurus, right? You're getting the light bulb moment of, hey, I'm driving this chariot and I can choose to speak up, speak out, right? Wow. I don't know why right now, boom, I got this as thought. See, like it's about standing your ground and being strong enough to like all those little wands right now. I got it like if they're thoughts coming in, boom, boom, boom. And maybe they are being said by somebody else, right? Maybe that's why there's an emphasis on the throat chakra, right? Communication. There's something there about things being expressed. And all those wands look like voices to me, right? That's how they came up there. I'm seeing them as voices, and for you having the strength, right? The free will to fight it, right? To choose to not. Yeah, and there's a lot of solar plexus energy in that chariot too, right? The power of free will, solar plexus. So I think that's part of it. Let me see what else. It's funny because well, it already went, but three of swords was at the bottom. So I don't know, something caused you heartbreak. I feel like you're coming out of hermit mode. Almost like you feel like you're doing a whole complete 180 with something, right? Or you want to. It feels like you are going to, right? There's that water energy again. I feel like, in that hangman mode, right? You saw that light and there's something you've made a choice about, right? That while you were in that hangman mode, the light, right? See the light, and then the light went off, and you want to offer something. I don't know if it's from the past, right? Because there's that Scorpio energy again, just like the Five of Cups. Maybe there is something from the past that you want to walk towards, right? Or just a new beginning in general. Take it how it resonates. Either something new is coming in, right? Or you want to offer something, right? Okay, I feel like that's the message. They're telling me to just close it out there. And so, yeah, let me know if that resonates. Gemini. Gemini. Holding it in feels it make me sick like a fart. That is true. And that's funny for Gemini. Before I even got a chance to, the high priestess wanted to make an appearance, but I'm gonna throw it back in because kind of just jumped out on its own. But let's see. Okay. Gemini for April. What do you need to know? Whoa. Whoa. This is crazy. I definitely wasn't expecting that. Interesting. Wow. Hmm. I feel like for Gemini, this is more of a warning. Man, I just went ahead and did the whole story, and yeah, there's a high priestess again. Okay, yeah. So yeah, okay, okay. So wow, I don't know why I got lost in the story. I think because it kind of jumped out at me. So in the past, there was a huge like there was a huge heartbreak. With that devil energy, heartbreak, something that flipped your world upside down, right? I heard codependency. There was an attachment to something from the past, right? It felt very like a divine intervention had to take place, right? Like something had to recalibrate you, something had to rebalance you, right? Had to teach you how to stand in your truth again. Okay, Brittany. And thank you for posting that. Both of them being with their arms crossed, it's funny. I feel like there have been new opportunities, right? There has been, and you haven't been seeing them, right? Whoa, like I had a tightness like on the masculine side, so there's been something there, right? Like healing something to do with the masculine energy. Something of that was hurt in this process, right? Of having like being in a very toxic situation where there even had to be divine intervention. So that's pretty interesting. And although you are very abundant in your emotions, you were closed off to giving them, right? Like all these things were coming your way. Like the Three of Cups, right? The old Three of Cups reminds me of like almost like those Three of Swords, right? Maybe in a situation you gave it three goes, right? It was like three times you got stabbed in the heart, right? In the same situation to where it just left you like, all right, there's new things coming, but you were just like, nah. But now it feels like there was a death and rebirth. You had a rest, right? Literally in the coffin. You're like, I'm gonna take a nap in this coffin, right? See, things had to rebalance out, right? It's funny that they're both throat chakras. Maybe even that you were very vocal to people about, no, I need time to rest if things were coming in. But then with this feels very divine for some reason, right? Like the lovers and the high priestess. So maybe there's a higher commitment coming in, right? Whether you form this new relationship with spirit or there's a new very high level relationship. Wow. And then see even the masculine side feels healed, right? Like that thing that you had gone through in the past, everything feels very healed and expressive. Like it'll be easier to express things, right? Whether it's a connection with the spirit world or both, right? It still feels like a choice, right? Because obviously the lovers is originally called the choice card, right? But yeah, it just feels like a very, very divinely guided connection, right? So that's pretty interesting. I got chills down my whole back, balanced. I got balanced chills down my back, so that was pretty interesting. And yeah, it's possibly gonna be even a very prosperous financial situation, right? It's gonna bring a new beginning to, yeah, maybe doing spiritual work, right? Things like that of that nature. So that's pretty interesting. Both of these are Virgo card. Maybe you're meeting a Virgo. Maybe you're stepping in. Maybe you got Virgo in your chart, or just that, right? The way Virgos are very great at creating businesses. Um, yeah, there's a lot of things coming through with business, right? A spiritual business, spiritual partnership that is gonna be very prosperous financially as one. And if you really think about it, the nine and the one is like the 10 of pentacles, really. But I feel like it's just gonna be something very abundant. Like you can stand on your own even, right? Like it's gonna be there's something there. That's why I'm saying I think, oh, I got chills everywhere. I feel like it could be to where you can go on your own or you can be in a partnership and do it or both, right? Something like that. Or yeah, or both, something like that. So I'll just end it there because yeah, that's pretty interesting. Whoa. From starting like that, right? With the it's amazing, right? That we could learn so much from past situations that are heavy, right? Because that was just crazy to come out straight out with the The devil and the three of swords just threw me. Yeah, that was pretty interesting. But yeah, okay, so Cancer, right? That was crazy. Again with the expression. Yeah, yeah. Okay, so Cancer. Let's see what Cancer. What do we have for Cancer? Cancer. Okay, I'm gonna try to go. Whoa, Cancer, walking away from something right away. But this is beautiful, right? It's like a cycle has ended, right? I mean, we officially hit like the whoa, maybe you're a cusper with Gemini. We got the temperance angel. So maybe it was a divinely guided kind of whoa, walking away from things, right? Let me see. Yeah. Divinely guided walking away. Okay, that one just flew out. Wow. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. There was something that happened very divinely guided, right? Walking away from something. Look at solar plexus. Yeah. You walked away from something that wasn't allowing you to stand in your truth. And you had to get a push from the universe, right? From the spirit world, because you just weren't listening. And there's again that yellow energy, right? This new beginning is very true to who you are. Um, yeah, it's something that's gonna connect you with yourself because, right, the crown chakra, for some reason, whatever connection you were in, Cancer wasn't allowing you to be yourself. You were faking the funk. It's what they said, right? So you were faking the funk in this connection. That's crazy. Let me see. Whoa. Wow. Interesting. Maybe it was financial, right? You were keeping yourself in an illusion that this was something very prosperous for you, right? Look at with the moon again. Because in this one, the moon looks sad, right? Like, oh man, you're weak. Or I don't know. Maybe it doesn't look that sad. It looks sad when I got it, so I'll just read it like that. It looks sad when I looked at it in front of me. But it's like, yeah, the moon now it's like, why are you walking away? But it feels like maybe, yeah, sometimes people stay in a relationship or a job because you think, it's like I've heard that people that have stayed in a job and then all of a sudden it's like you go ask for a raise or something. I've heard people that have been at a job for 2 years and never gotten a raise, and I'm just mind blown. Like what? Like that's crazy. Like to stay at a job and for 2 years and never get a raise. So yeah, there was something there. Maybe it was financial. Wow, and you felt stuck. All you had to do was throw off the binds, right? There's that. See the solar plexus. So there was something definitely, yeah, it was affecting your who you felt you were as a person. It didn't let you stand in your authenticity. Maybe while you were at that job, you would share spiritual things and people would look at you like you were great. Wow, beautiful. So as you walk away from this, you're walking towards the sun, right? Wow, isn't that crazy? Walking away from the moon's like, hey, where you going? Because you've been kind of in this dark place, right? Trying to figure things out. And now you're walking towards the sun. Yeah, I even had like a headache. I think it was affecting your feminine energy, right? It was like even maybe you were getting migraines or having headaches while you were in this space and you couldn't put two and two together, right? Maybe you thought it was something all along, it was something spiritual, right? Like something trying to talk to your body, trying to talk to you, and you just weren't listening. But that's what I'm getting. Now that you've made this transition, you're walking towards the sun, right? So, okay, I feel like that's it. That's the message they want to give. So I'm gonna close it out there. Let's go to Leo. Ah, Leo, maybe you're a cusper, right? Because right, Cancer, Leo. Yeah. Okay. So Leo, what do you got for Leo? That already made an appearance in the Cancer reading. Hmm. Okay. So Leo again, Hangman. Was the hangman in the Cancer or who was it in? I don't even know. I can't. Oh, Taurus. That was Taurus, huh? Maybe you were connected to a. Wow. It's funny because I never read it like that, but the fact that, yeah, this hangman, I feel is important because the sun popped out sideways. So maybe you were stuck and you were like the sun's available to you literally, and for some reason you were stuck. But I feel like the light bulb already went off, right? So that's amazing, Leo. I think you got it though. I think you were stuck. Wow. Yup. Look at right as I say, I think you got it. Bam. Celebration. So I think and there's that Cancer. So maybe you were a cusper or you are a cusper, were a cusper. Uh-oh. What does that even mean? But I think maybe you are a cusper, right? Wow, that's interesting. I was like, why would I say were? And I heard something about like switching timelines. So that's I wasn't expecting that. So that's what I heard in my head. Maybe you were a little time jumping Leo or something, or time line shifting Leo. That's weird. Maybe that's why, right? The sun came out sideways. Like you get that you can change the dynamics of things or change timelines. I'm hearing like alternate timelines, this and that. Wow. Okay, that could I could go down that rabbit hole, but yeah, that's interesting. So celebration. I think while being in this hangman mode, you got it. You got what you're capable of, right? Yeah. See, in the hangman, I felt like kind of just stopped energy, right? Like a deer almost like when they see the headlights and then they just stop. Cause that yeah, I think that's the best way of describing it. Cause earlier when I got that, wow, see, there was a burden you were carrying that wasn't. Who else got this Aries? There was a burden you were carrying that you didn't have to carry. Think that's done. Oof, I got a pinch in like the feminine side, so there was something connected to that feminine energy that you didn't have to carry. It wasn't your burden to carry. Think you finally figured it out while being wow, interesting. Maybe you were dealing with someone controlling, right? Maybe it had to do with a figure in your life that was yeah, I got like chills all down my back like balance. So it's like yeah, there was a bird in there. Oh wow, didn't I say Aries got the 10 of maybe you were dealing with an Aries. Wow, that's funny. Yeah, that's funny. 10 of wands and Aries got 10 of wands too, and then Aries popped out. So or it was like an Aries like figure maybe you were dealing with, right? A controlling wow, and that came to an end. Death and rebirth. 13. Maybe even a Scorpio. Who knows? Maybe you were dealing with a Scorpio, but it was something like that, right? There was something that was keeping you stuck and you had to go into hangman mode and you get it, right? While you've been in hangman mode, you get the sun is right there peeping out, right? Peeking out the celebration, right? Wow, my solar plexus. See, it was keeping you stuck. Even your soul the solar plexus energy isn't really here, but well, no, it is. Wow, the sun. Duh. I didn't even see I was blocking it. The sun, yeah. So yeah, I felt that. So it was kind of keeping you. Maybe that's why it came out sideways, right? But I feel like you've had a whole death and rebirth, and it's time to celebrate. Feel like that's it. That's where they want me to end the message. So I'll just move on from there. I was gonna pull more, but I think that's it, right? You've had a death and rebirth. Yeah, there was something you were dealing with. Look at this was under shady. See, the solar it was affecting your solar plexus even. So Yeah, see, I had the pain in the on the masculine side. So that's pretty interesting. Okay. So Leo, Virgo, right? Okay, so Virgo. Whoa, that was fast. Virgo, wow. Wow, interesting. Hmm. Wow. Wow, this is interesting. Leo came out twice, so maybe you're connected to a Leo. But the world, right? The first thing that popped up was the world, right? So a cycle has completed for you, Virgo. A journey has came to an end, right in time, right? We're starting the new year. Oof, my whole crown is lighting up, so that's pretty interesting. So you completed the whole fool's journey, right? A whole adventure, and now you're starting again, something new, and you're feeling fiery about it, right? Like Virgo's in a kind of witchy, not the with the B, literally witchy kind of energy. Like you're feeling yourself. You're like you know what you want. Yeah, it's crazy. I feel like I could picture. So maybe it is a feminine energy. Wow, it is the Queen of Wands, right? Maybe that's why I pictured it like that. But I saw like Virgo walking very like sassy, right? Like uh, I don't know why I'm seeing a feminine Virgo, right? A feminine Virgo strutting her stuff kind of thing, right? Or masculine. Masculine too, right? Like I just saw like a masculine Virgo walking in a suit, right? Like very so take it how it resonates, right? But just having that kind of like yeah, very confident, right? Tapped into that energy too, right? Like knowing you can manifest things, right? Like I almost see that like a manifesting type energy. But the funny thing is that there's a nostalgia to it. Something from your past is coming in for you. There's something you want to approach from your past. Maybe you're gonna maybe as you're strutting your oh wow, maybe take it whichever side, but it's like maybe you're connecting to another Virgo. I don't know, but like if the man in the suit's coming and the woman strutting her stuff and then they bloop, you know, they meet right something and it's like, hey, I haven't seen you in a bit, like something from the past, right? And for some reason, there's like a happy home situation, right? Looking, that's interesting. Hmm. Let me clarify. Let me, because the next card is interesting to me. So let me see why this came out. Oh, okay. I get it. Before I even pull that, I already get what they're telling me. But let me just clarify it real quick. I feel like something flipped over and I didn't even, felt like a card flipped over in the deck in my, oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. It was something from the past that had you. That's why the whole cycle had to complete. But I feel like you were stuck for a while, Virgo. I don't know what um you were going through. I'll get one more in that sense. Let's see. Wow, that's strange. I get it I get it with the Six of Cups. That makes sense. So you had to go through a tower moment because you were stuck in your head. You weren't making a choice. You were why does it keep like this? You were stuck in your head, all these choices. What do I do? Yeah. There was a lot of indecision on your part, right? Fantasizing about things this way and then fantasizing about things that way. Oh, but what if I make this choice and this choice could have been this? And what if I made this choice and this choice could have been this? And just you were very stuck, right? Which I could see Virgo doing, right? Over analyzing things, trying to write everything down. And no, no, no. But what if this and I make the wrong choice? What if this? And I could have, and then cross referencing things and like So that's a lot of, but you had to get hit with the tower. Yeah, very divinely guided tower had to come crashing down on you because you weren't. And so now the death in reverse is weird. That's why the that thing from your past is making sense. Like something that once died having a second chance. That's pretty interesting. It feels like a choice though. I don't know why. Uh, there's a weird feeling I'm getting there. You know what? I think part of it, oh, I got chills. Okay, I think part of it is like they don't want you to know the whole story. So, but I'll just tell you this. Yeah, I got chills everywhere. I just want to tell you this that you're so much stronger now after everything you went through. Super strong, like that, right? Like you could you go grab a lion and hold it by the mouth, and it's look at it, like cute little lion. Like maybe you're a Leo Cusper, right? But you definitely know who you are. I think that's why it started with that, right? Like the Queen of Wands, Leo energy, and then it ended with the Leo energy, right? Like you're super strong after going through all of this, right? And a whole cycle close. You're starting a new journey, and I think that's why they don't exactly. So in April, you're gonna come across that where you're gonna realize like how much power you have. Maybe that encounter from the past doesn't have to become something, but maybe it's just that, right? After everything you've probably gone through, it's remembering like, wow, I remember this old beautiful connection, and I want a new connection that represents that, right? Or maybe it is like giving it a second go with that, but there's some kind of thing that they don't want me to tell you because I think maybe you don't like surprises, but they want to surprise you for some reason. So I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Okay. Yeah, there's a weird. It's funny. Like, I don't know if it's Virgo that doesn't want me to tell there, because that's what I was getting before, right? It was the Virgo with that. It's for me to know and for you to find out kind of energy. So I don't know if Virgo's busting that again. So, okay. So after Virgo is Libra, right? Okay. So we're going to go with Libra. Already there's something interesting here with Libra. Ah, wow, Libra. What in the world is happening in your life? Or was? Let me see. Hmm. Interesting. Interesting. What is going on with Libra here for April? Hmm. Okay, I seen that coming out, so it doesn't surprise me. Oh man, the first card that, of course, there had to be one. I knew eventually there was gonna be one that blew out. Oh wow. Okay. Let me see. Hmm. Wow. I don't know why Libra's being. Hmm. Well, I guess I do know why. That makes sense. Okay. So in the past there was a lot of conflict, right? 5-5, Libra. Maybe someone was you were dealing with a win at all cost type energy, right? Lots of conflict. At the end, it just wasn't worth it, right? Something was said. I think maybe you just chose to walk away rather than. I don't feel this like this was you, right? Maybe you were dealing with an Aquarius. I don't know. But there was a lot of conflict. 5-5, right? But I feel like it needed to happen. There was a change that had to come. Um, Maybe even after this conflict, someone tried to come back with an offer. I don't know why I got the word narcissist. Like maybe if someone was very narcissistic, right? Like that, right? Like a repeating cycle. Someone being like abusive verbally and then coming back like, oh, I was just playing, I love you or something, right? Like I didn't really mean it. And then yeah, it sent you into a hermit mode, right? You had to go into hermit mode, really process things. But I feel like you were stuck for a little bit. Obviously, being a Libra, balance is very important. You were trying to figure it out, right? Whoa, that was like the longest stomach growl I've had in my. Yeah, that was funny. Okay, so yeah, maybe financially even, right? I don't know. Well, the heart is tied into money, right, too. So I feel like even all this conflict, some maybe it was about money. Maybe this relationship made you not focus on money, something it affected you. Money is a factor here, though. Money definitely had you up in your head, feeling unbalanced. But I feel like now a new opportunity has presented itself, right? Maybe you saw through the BS and this new opportunity and love wasn't appealing anymore, right? You had to go into her almost like someone coming and then you being like, you know what, let me get back to you on that. And you were kind of juggling the ideas in your head, like, what am I doing here? But I think ultimately you're choosing to focus on your finances at this yeah, at this moment, right? Like you're choosing finances over dealing with some BS, right? Yeah, someone was definitely reckless with their words. Someone really swung that sword around. I was gonna say maybe said something. Well, yeah, said something that they shouldn't, but I don't really think they cared. I don't think it was something like someone that really cared about what they said. Like I'm seeing that like smirk, right? Like that smirk on someone's face, like a win at all costs, right? And then trying like that. It feels very narcissistic. Wow. And I feel like this path that you're on will eventually lead you to your Ten of Cups. Mm. So I feel like you made a choice, right? So in April, you're starting that journey, right? I feel like it's gonna come sooner than you think, right? You're already on that path in April, right? Towards that Ten of Cups. I think you balanced it out and you chose, yeah, that you weren't gonna entertain this offer that tried to come towards you, right? From some narcissistic type energy that I'm getting here. And maybe even a boss, right? If it was work related and someone almost like if you would ask for days off and they'd be like, nah, well, we can't afford to let you have that day off, or we can't this, or they couldn't work with you with some. Maybe you needed to leave 2 days out of the week early and they didn't allow for that. And then after it's like, oh, you left the job and then they're like, oh, do you want to come back and this and that. So whatever path, and so this was very supportive, right? The spirit world had your back, right? It's like if something just popped in out of thin air and presented a new opportunity for you, which will eventually lead you to this Ten of Cups. So that's beautiful, Libra. Yeah, I like it, right? So let's go into Scorpio now. Wow. I mean, I'm already starting Scorpio's reading, but it's funny. Maybe you're look at Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups as I split the deck. That's so funny. Um, yeah, maybe you're a cusper. That's so funny. 10-10, but the positive 10-10s, right? Like, but regardless, it's completions, right? That's so funny. Who had the other 10-10s, I think, but they were like the 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. Okay, so for Scorpio, Oh, wow. See, so that makes sense. That definitely makes sense that definitely makes sense. Wow. Interesting. Hmm. My third eye is kind of doing a little thing as I'm tapping into this. Drink some more. Don't forget to hydrate, Scorpio, for some reason, because that was funny. Wow. Okay. Okay. I feel like there's definitely a victory. Maybe as a Scorpio, you were dealing with an Aries. I don't know, or an Emperor type situation. The Emperor came out in reverse. Maybe you were battling your own demons, right? But there's a victory now, right? So that's beautiful. I don't know if Scorpio had interesting energies like before when I did the last. Maybe if it's for yourself, you release that like over being controlling, right? Um or you got rid of someone that was very authoritative, kind of controlling energy. So take it how it resonates. Either that was your energy or you release someone that try to pose that, right? Try to control you, something like that, right? It might be work related, right? There's new opportunities because of your perseverance. Yeah, I'm seeing like a Scorpio's face that's very like someone that just got like realized, right? Almost like someone that realized like, dude, I don't need to deal with this. Yeah. Almost not angry, just like kind of like a who do you think you are kind of look at somebody and then just like nah, like knowing your worth and then going towards something new, right? Or maybe a new offer presented itself to you. It's almost like that, like being at a job that pays all this money and they're like, you're really gonna leave, and there's another offer. And yeah, it's not as much money, but you know it's gonna make you happier, right? With that heart chakra. And you're like, you know what? Yeah. Like I don't care. I don't like when I left my job that I was miserable at years ago, they were like, "Oh, are you really gonna leave your benefits and your this and your that?" I was like, "Yeah." I didn't care right at that moment. I didn't have a new offer on. I just kind of took a leap of faith, right? I was being nudged to, and it all worked out, right? But and there's the celebration. So I feel like you had a victory. Let me see. I could pull. I feel like that's to the point, right? Short and sweet. Like there's something you had a victory over. You're having there's a new venture, new opportunities. There's a celebration. So let me see. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. New ideas. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. You were dealing with something sneaky, something, right? This kind of energy. Maybe it was again, right? An Aries, Aquarius. And like they were walking away thinking, almost like someone trying to see if you take the bait, and they're just gonna keep walking, right? Like they're just gonna keep walking. Like you're literally heading in the opposite direction, and they're like, even the horse is like, is this person stupid or something? you know? So I don't know, but it feels good. Okay, I think that's it. I mean, there's really nothing, like the universe has had your back, right? Yeah. Look at that crown, right? Even this, right? The little reef crown, the crown feels good, right? It feels like there's something beautiful. It's gonna make your heart happy, right? Maybe people are gonna be hating, like, oh, look at this person on their high horse, but they don't know that it's well deserved, right? Yeah, my solar plexus. It's almost like, yeah, that connection was affecting who you were. It was affecting your solar plexus. I feel like it's starting to grow again, right? It doesn't feel fully charged yet, but it feels like it's waking up again. That's kind of what I felt, like a quick, like a pulse, like a boom, you know? So I feel like, yeah, look at all that yellow, right? Something was really messing with your, but could have been yourself. You could have been lying to yourself, right? Mentiras. Imagine that. Like, that's how crazy being human is, right? That we could lie to ourselves and keep ourselves stuck. So that's mind boggling. Sagittarius, right? Let me see. Sagittarius. What do we got for Sagittarius in April? What's the theme? What's the energy? Whoa. Sagittarius. Hmm. Hmm. Wow. How do I read this? This is really interesting for Sagittarius. I'll tell you that. I wouldn't have expected this. I think Sagittarius is always the fluffy, light and fluffy one. Go, go, go energy, or it has been in all these readings for the past few months, I think. There could have been something, right, with your, I don't know if you're in a relationship, partnership, marriage, a business marriage, right? A business partnership, something, but you had to find strength in that, right? I almost feel like there was, maybe you did, and maybe this is weird, but that's what I'm getting. Maybe a marriage is coming to an end. There's something you've had to have strength with, right? Maybe it was financial things, right? Maybe like that. Imagine having a business partner, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, I want to take the business this way. Well, I want to take the business this way, and so there was a lot of, this is double Capricorn energy. So maybe you're a cusper with Capricorn, or you were in business with a Capricorn, right? A marriage, right? Something, marriage, business. But at the end, right, the Five of Cups, that's why I'm getting, that's what I'm feeling, right, from this. I don't think normally these cards, I would feel that kind of energy, but it's weird, right? Because there's something you ended up. But the weird thing is, see, you already got the two cups behind you, but it's like, I guess, and then comes the light and fluffy Sagittarius energy, because out of nowhere after that, bam, the sun came out. So that is crazy. It's weird because usually something like that, right? The partnership, I think it was very adult, right? Very like, wow, this just isn't working, right? Boom, 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 figuring it out. Maybe there was even that. Maybe you felt like the partnership you were in was a little too controlling, right? If it was a marriage, if it was a partnership, someone wanted to have all the say. After this concluded, maybe there was a little crying over spilled milk kind of situation. Then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, okay, there, enough. And the sun came out. Wow. The sun will come out. That's what I'm hearing the song. The sun will come out tomorrow. Is it bet your bottom dollar? Wow, bet your bottom dollar. That's funny. I don't know. I feel like almost like that. Like Sagittarius lamented for a day, and it's like, okay, well, that's enough. And then bam, the sun was shining, right? You step outside and there's the sun. That is crazy. I love the Sagittarius energy. Or it just felt maybe whoa, my room got really smoky right now. It's crazy from this copal. So that's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like now you're in this new energy, right? Not a negative energy, just very confident, very balanced, right? Wow. So something was affecting that balance. All of a sudden you feel very balanced, right? Very connected to spirit with that sword pointing up. It feels like, yeah, maybe if you were in a partnership, now you're, right? Let's say you were in a business, now you're the one sitting on the throne in your own business or something, right? Or for the moment, yeah, if it was like a marriage or something or whatever this was, third eye. So you're very confident now in the decision you had to make in April, right? I don't know if this happened over the course of last year to now or something, whatever whoever's connecting with this, but that's kind of what I'm getting. Yeah, maybe you're just focusing on work right now, but things are looking good. They're growing. There's that solar plexus energy. It's very true to who you are. So I don't know why I happened to move this. I guess nothing's by accident, right? I happened to move the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups was under. So yeah, maybe whatever path you're on right now is gonna make you very happy. And I got chills. So that's interesting. Okay. So Sagittarius, Capricorn. Capricorn. Let's see what's going on for Capricorn. So for April, Capricorn. Let me see. Whoa, Capricorn. Maybe you're a cusper with Sagittarius. That's a Sagittarius card, but I want to see what. Hmm. Wow. That's pretty interesting. Oh, wow. That's crazy, the image I just got. Very interesting. Huh. Okay. Wow. I don't know why for you the same. I was led to I go through a home. Hmm. Okay. Whoa, my whole head is doing some weird stuff. So let me just. So it feels like there was something, right? You were burdened with something, something you're carrying, overburdened. No, you're good, Brittany. Thank you for. I'm already on Capricorn, so you popped in right on. I don't know if you just popped in. I wasn't looking at the chat, but yeah, well, I'm Capricorn now, so yeah, being overburdened with something, but I felt like you're trusting your intuition, and there's that. Imagine, wow, that's pretty interesting. Something you were led to trust your intuition with something, right? From feeling overburdened to trusting your intuition, something that's going to lead you to that 10 of Pentacles, right? Yeah. Something. No, Aries, it's been all of them. So from Aries all the way to Capricorn. So Aries, all of them, right? So yeah, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, something that's you're trusting your intuition, right? But 10-10, right? 10-10 again, completing things, right? Maybe you completed finally leaving all those extra burdens behind. New ideas came in, right? New ideas. Nine of Pentacles, even. A lot of focus on finances, right? But these new ideas that were very divinely guided, right? Having these So for April, right? This is the April energy. New plan, success. New ideas that lead to success, right? You're trusting your intuition. You're trusting the guidance. And this, ooh, I just got chills. So this is what I see, almost like if in the spirit world you went up to like, right, like one of these like god deities, goddess deities, and they're like, go ahead, step forward. What do you want to say? Like almost like if you were praying about something, like what should I do? And like I could see someone appearing in the spirit world and it's on whatever you believe in, God or goddess or whatever, and they're like, step forward, and you're like, oh wow, like what do you have? What do you want to say? I feel like it is tied into a responsibility. It is maybe it's not coming. Oh wow, that makes sense with hmm. It's almost like that same sword, huh? Something very, but it felt like you, right? Like you went up to some, or you were, maybe you were praying for the answer, right? That's why it eventually came very intuitively. Almost like if you were praying about it and they were like, wow, what direction do you want to go in, right? Like you have the choice. Like what do you want to do? Like these burdens, right? Almost like rather than stay and fight, right? With the five of wands in reverse, you just chose to walk away. So maybe there was something. It's like I don't know why they put this in my head, but I'm just giving it as an example. Not that it was like but almost like if in a marriage someone's like, you know what, you could keep the house, right? Rather than fighting about it, or you could keep this and something, right? Or leaving a job without severance pay and being like, you know what, I don't care. Just I don't want to fight about it. I don't want to be and you go start your own thing and you got the world at the palm of your hands, right? Like there's that two again, right? Two. And in every season, right? We're in every season right now, but it's your choice, of course. There's a choice, right? I feel like you've already made the choice. It's like you haven't seen it, you don't know how, but you're trusting your intuition. This is gonna lead you to be very successful, which I feel like it will, right? Like new ideas, right? Hmm. I feel like you're not getting the full picture, but there's an intuitive nudge somewhere, right? And that was the choice, right? Like maybe even that, maybe you didn't even process it yet, like why you walked away from something rather than fighting. But sometimes our body knows, right? We just know, like this isn't worth fighting about. I'm just gonna go, you know? I don't know. I know I've made that choice before where it's like I can't even say, right? Like there's just maybe your higher self was already doing things that you hadn't fully processed yet, right? And this is a beautiful new start to things, right? Hasn't quite made the move yet, but already like decided between the two wands, right? Like, you know what? I'm gonna take my little wand, the world's in my hands. And if you think about it too, right? Like the wand, the magician, the queen of wands, almost like let me see what I'm gonna create with this, right? So I like it. So that's for March for March for well, so we started in March right now, right? So March, April for Capricorn, right? Let me see, who am I on now? After Capricorn is Aquarius, right? Aquarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, right? So let me see for Aquarius. I don't know, that's interesting. Aquarius. Are you fighting some kind of change right now, Aquarius? Because I don't know about that. Hmm. Okay. Let me see. Oh, okay. Interesting. Interesting. Let me see for Aquarius. Aquarius, Aquarius. I use these new incense, but there's like a super thick incense and it just left everything so smoky. That's funny. Okay. Um, all right. Whoa. I feel like you were on a path that wasn't the best path, and somehow you prevented a tower from falling, Aquarius. That's interesting. You were able to catch it. Oh, maybe you're a cusper with Capricorn, right? Maybe it was one of those situations where you were just like, you just chose to walk away and then go towards something new, right? Starting something new and just leaving behind everything, right? Because somehow that tower, sometimes I'd be like, hey, just let the tower fall. But I guess you got it, right? Aquarius are very intellectual, right? So maybe you figured out, I don't have to go through that. I don't have to let this whole tower come tumbling down, right? I can just, yeah. And it took a lot of like death and rebirth, right? Like resting. See, truce, right? So wow, maybe it was like, you know what? It doesn't have to be all sloppy and dirty and which is your favorite card? Brittany? Absolutely. So yeah, I definitely feel like you went into hermit mode, right? You had to recover, you called the truce, you were like, yeah, it's not worth it. Like, let me just I feel like it could have got messy, right? To where that either yeah, I mean it could have got messy to that, right? Let's say it was that, right? Like someone fighting over a business, someone fighting over the four for sure. Um, yeah, it is a beautiful card because it is like death and rebirth without having to death and rebirth. It's like just resting, right? Calling a truce to something, taking a moment and being like, you know what, I'm gonna lay in my little coffin and then come out feeling rested and balanced and all that good stuff, right? But yeah, something about with this, it almost reminds me of even that, right? Like when someone fights over custody of a kid and at the end somehow they figure it out and it's like, let's just do shared custody. We don't have to like, someone doesn't have to have the raw end of the stick, right? And maybe you were the bigger person. You figured it out. You were the one that was like, this tower doesn't have to fall, whatever, right? And you brought balance to it. You figured it out somehow, right? And you were indifferent to it. You were able to think more logically rather than emotionally about a situation. My whole masculine side is lighting up. So I guess you stepped into that masculine energy of logic, of figuring things out, calculating things. I don't know, whatever it was, but you prevented a tower from falling. Whether maybe you were a mediator for someone else or it was in your personal life, but it feels like there was something that you brought balance to, right? You were able to see past an illusion of something, right? Like I like it because it feels very diplomatic, right? Very, yeah. Like, yeah, I love the energy because it's something very logical. It wasn't someone that was caught up in their emotions and, no, I gotta win at all costs or something, or almost like someone gives this crazy offer and rather than fighting it with like, well, you know what? How about this? Does this sound good? Right? At the end, it was something very balanced. No one had to like, I mean, I like the energy. It's almost like imagine if people really dealt with things like that rather than No, I have to win. It was like very balanced. Like, what about this? Why don't we do things like this, right? And it's cool. It's okay, just calling a truce to something, right? Like this is I like this. This is really impressive energy. I like it. So, or maybe this is coming up in April. So if it hasn't happened yet, Aquarius, I feel like you're gonna have a situation in April that maybe you'll come at very diplomatically. Is that the word? Diplomatically? I don't even know if that's a word. But you'll come at it in a very diplomatic fashion, right? So that's interesting. Wow. Yeah, there's that five again. Interesting. Wait, I thought there was a five. Oh yeah, the five of pentacles. Yeah, and what did I say about that win? Nah, there was like that win at all costs. Like I don't know. I feel like for April, yeah, you'll be very wise, right? Sitting on that throne, very maybe you used your charisma to right. Maybe someone was too rigid and this and that, and you were like, you know what? After being in hermit mode and coming at things very logically, you were able to draw up a resolution to some problem, right? Maybe you asked for a little, right? I don't know. It doesn't feel bad, but maybe there was a little bit of that witchy into witchy intuition involved, right? Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure that you weren't over here. Okay. I just want to make sure you weren't like over here trying to do some kind of little sneaky stuff, but okay. It doesn't, no, that's not what I'm getting. So good. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Brittany, let me know. Maybe I'll have some time right now after I finish this, if you have time. Um, who's the last one? Aquarius. Pisces, right? Is this Pisces now? Pisces. Is Pisces the last one? I think so, right? I think I've gotten through all the signs now. Pisces. So the final, last but not least, Pisces. Whoa, that's crazy. Mm, how interesting. Pisces. You said your favorite card is that Four of Swords, Brittany. So there it is. Pisces. Maybe you're a cusper with Aquarius. And I was talking about the logic, right? Just coming up with it, right? And there's Aquarius. So maybe you are a cusper. That's pretty impressive too, right? Because Pisces energy sometimes a little more on the emotional spectrum. Wow, maybe a divine pair. Maybe, wow, that's crazy. Pisces, maybe you're having a connection. And that's crazy because you know what? It's almost like there's a connection that comes that maybe at first, right? At first, Pisces with this divine pair, it's like you don't even meet in that emotional state. Like you meet up here first. And then after, maybe during April, it's gonna, or maybe it's just the beginning, right, of something that maybe you don't even see the divineness in it, right? But it's not tied in to the emotions, right? I'm feeling it all up here. So that's interesting. Or unless that was what was a truce was called about, right? Maybe, hmm. I heard that song "Love Is a Battlefield." That I don't know what you were going through with, but perseverance, right? Interesting. I think there's still a little bit of that Aquarius energy. So let me try to tap out of that, right? To make sure I'm just making sure that it's not bleeding. The Aquarius reading is, I mean, we're all connected, right? We all have like all the signs and all this stuff, but Um, it's really interesting, right? Maybe it had to do with love. I don't know, but that's really interesting. Love is a battlefield. Yeah, it's all up here. I'm feeling it all up here, like a mid third eye to the crown. It's really interesting, this energy. There's, yeah, definitely like a divine pair, right? Okay, I'm a little. Okay, let me see why this came out. Whoa. So this might not be for everybody, right? But maybe you already were in some kind of divine pair connection, but someone gave. I feel like there was some kind of yeah, like maybe someone cheated in a connection or something. That's what I heard. So I don't know. That's weird. Maybe someone understood something, like why it happened, or okay, that's a really weird. I didn't expect that, right? But maybe just that. Maybe there was a forgiveness. Even with this, right? Just because there's a divine pair doesn't mean they have to stay together, but it could be a forgiveness or just a higher understanding. Maybe that's why I was feeling no emotions tied into it. Maybe there was already a divine pair connection, right? And someone's trying to rush. Maybe someone rushed back in to explain something that happened. And because of that, all right, let me get. Of course, you had to make it complicated, Pisces. What is this? Like, this is interesting. A divine pair, but someone decided to step out. See? There was a judgment that maybe someone, yeah, was just someone was very honest about it, I guess, after. And because they were honest, right? You went from maybe from this poopy pants mode to getting it. And I don't know. Sometimes, yeah, okay. Sometimes if we're left not knowing something, it can mess things up, right? Some people need that, right? Like they need some kind of closure, right? Maybe this person understood that you deserved to get some kind of closure, or the spirit world judged, right? It was like, right? Because even that's kind of a four of swords, right? Because they're popping out of their little coffins, right? I'm trying not to show it, right? Like if you were in this energy, and because of whatever happened, right? This is 4-4, right? Because of whatever happened, and it allowed you to step into this Queen of Wands energy, even, right? Yeah, sometimes clarity is important. I'll put one more just because it is a little, yeah. I think I was listening more to what they were telling me, as opposed to kind of how the cards were coming out. Yeah, I think there was just a lot of, maybe even you became more receptive to hearing something, right? Because wow, I don't know. I don't know if you decided to stay in a connection because maybe you were just standoffish, like, no, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to this and that. But now the Six of Swords in reverse, right? The Six of Swords. Six of Swords and man, you keep okay. This is really the last one then Pisces because I feel like my whole crown's lighting up though. So wow, all these cards just go down. Interesting. Oh, okay. The truth shall set you free. I feel like you were overburdened with something, and because of that, you weren't able to move forward. And now, take it how it resonates, whether you're on one end or the other, right? Maybe you weren't, but for some reason, whatever this connection was, that was just love is a battlefield, right? Love is a battlefield, overburdened with things. You were able to finally convey something, right? There was that energy of okay, enough is enough. Let's just say what happened with something, right? Whoever was unfaithful, because that's what I heard. Whoever had, and it happened. See, this is a beautiful example of that. It doesn't matter. Even a divine pair can have a situation, right? And that could that could result in hey, that's it, right? But I don't know if this is representative of someone giving it another go because I feel like this situation it either had you in a Six of Swords in reverse, and that's why you weren't able to move forward because you just didn't know the truth, and so. But the judgment was that the truth had to be said. So either that, right? I feel everything's a choice, right? And this is a quizás maybe card, so either after knowing the truth now, you've decided to give something another go, or it's allowed you to become free and just sail away, right? Okay, so I get okay, so that's I'll end it with that. So yeah, I think it's a battle of the mind though and the heart. Yeah, I don't know. This is interesting. So that felt very personal to somebody out there. So whatever Pisces resonates with that, I'll end it there. Thank you all. I'll put the timestamps. Yeah, I'll put the timestamps and all that good stuff and let me know what resonates, right? And yeah, on that note, I'll see you all on the next one. Peace.